Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika, and here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. So today I want to talk a little bit about healing, healing spells and rituals to be exact. Um, I thought this was a good conversation or good video to have because I have felt the need to physically heal from something. So I'm doing all the medicinal, the things the doctors tell you to do. I'm doing all that sort of stuff. But, I'm a cottage witch, so I'm going to add some of that into my healing processes as well. And I'm going to make some other points about that in just a moment. But let me just get into it. So, whenever I approach healing, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, whatever it is, I like to approach it from a sense of one. I hopefully know what's wrong with me, but I like to sometimes consult with my ancestors, spirit guides, and so forth, for them to kind of weigh in and give me advice and let me know what's going on. Maybe I need to be on a specific path. Maybe I need to change something, et cetera, et cetera. So before I start any sort of healing ritual, okay, or spell work or anything, I'm going to pull some cards. I'm going to want to get in tune with them. Now, if you're really, really sick, during that time, that might be difficult. You might maybe want to look into maybe doing something, if you still want to use cards, of course. There are apps, so if you have your phone with you, you can try that. Otherwise, hopefully you have somebody in your life who's an advocate that can help you. In my case, when it comes to tarot, I would go to my daughter. I know she knows how to read cards, and she would help me with that if it was ever that bad. Hopefully I've already consulted the cards before it got that bad, but and I'm not talking like catastrophic accident. I'm talking, an illness, something that's happening, or a mental or emotional thing that is just out of, you're already at the break, so to speak. If you can get an advocate or somebody else to help you, that's great. I know a lot of us don't have that, but maybe start. Maybe start taking a time to think about that and opening yourself up to some people. You would be surprised. If you open yourself up to some people, and at those times in need, it's great to have somebody who can do a reading for you, on your behalf, and give you some answers. But anyway, I start with the tarot reading. So honestly, that from what I get from that, it tells me which kind of direction I need to go. If I'm totally confused by that tarot reading, or and I pull clarifying cards, or it still seems a little vague, I will meditate. And meditation looks kind of why I just decided to sit on the floor and record this. Meditation kind of looks like this for me. I sit down, what the kids call crisscross applesauce. We call it Indian style the way I was, but we're not allowed to say that no more. So I sit on the floor like this. I play vibrational, that free, vibrational music. A lot of it's free on YouTube. I play that, and I just let what comes to me. Even the stuff I don't want to think about, I just let it come. I don't resist. That's part of meditation for me, not resisting. If you're struggling with that and you're like, I'm thinking about running to the store, I'm thinking about the kids, what we're going to eat for dinner, that's okay. Let those thoughts come and go. Um, if you try to resist that, it's kind of difficult because they just kind of stay around, or like a song stuck in your head for some reason as you're sitting there. Take a deep breath and just keep going. Anyway, so vibrational sounds, I usually have incense. I like to have a candle, or some candles going, and just a quiet space somewhere in my house. Right here, I'm just in a part of the living area, and I'm just, just sitting here, and it's good for me. So, like I was saying, that's good for me. I had to cut out for a moment. It got really loud outside. Fire truck was going by. I live near a fire station, by the way, which is awesome. If anything ever happens, they can get to me quickly. Um, yeah, I also, as part of the ritual, again, getting back to it, so I start with a reading, I do a meditation. I'm going to want to do the meditation regardless. Even if I understand it, I still feel it's necessary. Sometimes they come to me, they being spirits, ancestors, a specific goddess that I might have tried to bring in, and I want to hold space for that. So I want to sit still and just let that happen. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just my random thoughts going. But maybe I need to empty that. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to let that just keep going. So I allow that to happen. I don't, let that freak me out. I just hold space for just being quiet and just resting my mind or letting my mind. I'm not actively consciously thinking anything. If the thoughts come and go, that's fine. I eventually prefer to get to a point where I'd like to call it neutral, grounded. That's why I prefer being on the floor. Um, and I just feel relaxed. It's not. I don't know about empty. I don't know about just empty of all thoughts, and I don't know about that, but just grounded, neutral, kind of centered, not really on one particular thought or anything like that. That's a good space for me. And at that time, I like to have a cup of tea. I wouldn't drink coffee. If you're not a tea drinker, I understand, maybe water. But I think it's important. I will bless my coffee, my tea or water, but usually it's going to be tea. I prefer something bitter. Lately, I've been working with dandelion root tea, and you can pick it up in a supermarket. So it's not like something special you have to go picking. I mean, you can if you want, but I just purchased it in the store. So dandelion root tea. So I picked that up, and that was really great for me. So did that. It's bitter, and it was welcomed. Like, I wanted that bitterness. It's medicinal, so maybe it's a psychological thing, but that's okay. It kind of puts me in a space to receive the benefits of it, the healing properties, and I welcome it. Um, During that time, like as I'm just ingesting the tea, I'm swallowing, I become very aware of my body. And when I mean very aware, some of us probably are good at this than others, but it's a thing where you just kind of are taking like a check, your head, or you feeling okay? Is there any pressure? Or does your head hurt? Sinuses. It's just making a point to go down a line aware, swallowing and your heart and your stomach. Do you feel pain? Do you feel okay? Do you feel rested? Are you hungry? What's going on? Do you feel apprehension? Because I feel a lot in my stomach, um, which is part of my healing. That's something that I'm working on, because when I get upset, when I get sad, when I get angry, I feel it in my gut. So my issues that I've been having that I'm working on healing actually have something to do with that. That's where a lot of the symptoms manifested. So that's something I know I have to be aware of. So I check in, I have to check in and just be aware, like really where I'm. Mind you, I've taken the time to meditate. I've had my nice warm soothing tea. I've already been in this quiet space. I've already had my reading. So I just want to do this like sort of check for myself. Okay, so this is all before I light somebody, I light a candle for meditation. That's more like I like to do a white candle, maybe a blue candle, a light blue usually, for, just the light blue I think is for psychic. Sometimes if I don't have light blue, I'll just use dark blue. It's not that big of a deal, but it's like a connection. It's just encouragement. I put that intention into the candle. White is like all purpose, same thing. So those candles are for the meditation. But before I do anything specific to healing myself of whatever it is I'm healing myself from, all those other things I talked about are really important to me. It's this is not quickie spells or quickie rituals. I mean, especially if you're talking about, your health. Health is mental, by the way, mental health and emotional health, as well as physical health. It's usually a multifaceted approach. There's not one thing. Like, I had one issue, it led to these symptoms. These symptoms made this thing happen, and I'm just been blah the whole time. So I can address the thing that caused the issue, but now I have these symptoms and side effects from that. So it's like I got to heal a couple different things all at the same time. So it's important to get centered and grounded. Like, that's really going to be a big deal. This is not something you can rush through. You can kind of just, sit down real quick, light a candle, say, okay, let's just get started. I mean, you can, I don't know you and your practice, but most of us, for the level of work that this is requiring, the type of energy that you're trying to manipulate, I mean, you're talking cellular energy inside your body, maybe the water affecting the water in your body and so forth. Yeah, you're gonna need to take some time. Okay, so after I do my scan, I do all that. Then it's time to bring in the magic. Now it's time for the fun. Well, it's all fun to me, but the magical fun part. So, couple ways to approach this. Um, and I'm just gonna go because I am someone who I share, but you won't ever get everything on here because the way I practice my witchcraft, I don't. I believe for it to work, there has to be a level of mystery I have to hold back. But I'm going to give you some great ideas, and uh, hopefully you learn how to build on it. That's what I want you to do, like inspire you. I don't want you to copy everything I do and just say, "Oh, just do it that way. That's the only way." No, I want you to, learn to do your own thing. Anyway, so let me get to it. A poppet, a doll, poppet of yourself. Make that one for yourself and you want to put, it's color magic is going to be important with this, but you want to do something like put healing maybe crystals inside the poppet in the areas specific to what's like for me. So in my case it would be the stomach, so I would put something that's related to like for me a moonstone. For sure a moonstone would go there, calming energy in the stomach area, right? So I would put that there. And, I know I'm having some other, issues that I got to be careful with. So I would want to maybe put some calming colors because a lot of it is I need to calm the F down. Some calming colors, some blues, maybe a bright yellow or something like that. But, maybe ribbons and things like that, decorate the doll, the poppet with. Um, Again, this is all for you. This is not for somebody else. This is something you're doing for yourself. Now, if you're wondering where the heck do you keep this, because this doll is representing you, keep it in a safe place. I have a witch's cabinet. I think I've talked about that in videos before. So I use my witch's cabinet for almost everything. My supplies, everything, pretty much, except for what I have sitting out. So, or the books I have on my shelf, of course. Witchy books. But yeah, I would just keep it in there. And depending on the size, maybe you want to invest in a box or, some sort of maybe a purse, like an old purse. Get, a little crafty with it and figure out what you want to keep it in. You don't want to maybe just have it sitting out. Okay, but a poppet of yourself is super helpful. A candle spell, a simple candle spell. This is separate from meditation. These are things I've done, by the way. These are things I'm open to or have actually done, or some variation of it. A simple, for sure, a candle spell. You've seen me do candle spells. So yeah, a simple candle spell where you put your intention into the candle to heal whatever the issue is. And you burn a candle and you open a window and you let it go out into the universe, into the ethers with the knowing that it works. That's pretty much it. That's it. How you dress the candle may matter a little bit more. You might want to make sure you are using oils that are intentional to your healing. Maybe you want to use specific herbs to that effect as well. A potion. So at this point, maybe there's a potion and I have my cup of tea, but I've also done other things where I've created sort of like a health potion. It's going to require a blender. So I might, mix up a couple different, known like blueberries, like a healthy shake, a healthy smoothie or something like that. Put in certain things that I know are super helpful and, um, very close to practical magic with midnight margarita style. That's kind of how I do my potion for that because it's fun. And um, I try to find joy in my craft. Yeah, I'm serious sometimes, but I kind of laugh at myself. Sometimes I have laughed out loud because just the absurdity of sometimes what I'm doing. I was like, if I was watching me do this, this would be hilarious to me. And I'll just laugh to myself. And that's energy. That's a good thing. So, especially for healing, you want to keep that positive energy. Positivity this is a good time to bring that forth, right? So, yeah, that's kind of a big deal. To, be joyful if possible, as much as you can. But yeah, a healing potion, like I said, for me, it's probably going to be a smoothie or a different type of herbal tea. So I'm taking herbs, intentional herbs, especially if you have healing herbs and things like that. Now, um, sometimes it's potion, sometimes it's food, or something edible or edible. But it's, and you treat that as something magical. You put the positive intentions in it to heal you and so forth, so you could do it that way as well. Okay, other things that I've done, as far as part of a heal. Remember, I'm saying spells, rituals. I'm using those terms loosely right now, but like oils. So I would have already made the oil, possibly, or at that time I'm making a healing oil. It could be used for the purposes of dressing a candle, but I actually maybe want to put it on my body. So it's more ritualistic. So the spell is making the oil, and then the process of actually applying it is the ritual. The healing, oil on my skin, I rub it in, and you believe that the property seeps into your skin, and that energy is being released into your body, and it heals you. Um, Charged crystals. So assuming they're already charged, I tend to kind of stay on that. But using crystals directly on yourself, putting them, us ladies will put them in our bra, or maybe you have you turned into a piece of jewelry and you're wearing it, and that's healing energy coming from that, and you may have them all around you, not just on your person, but they're around you. If you're at work or if you work from home or whatever your deal is, they're in your presence, like you can see them. That's important for a lot of people because they're emitting healing energy so you can make it through the day, so you can function, whatever it is. Remember, healing, emotional, mental, physical, whatever the deal is. And then finally, this is a little bit more involved, but gardening and plant magic. So I find, plants are very interesting. And I like to kind of joke around and say I have a blue-green thumb. I'm not totally green thumb. Probably with a little bit more effort, I could be. I am married to someone who is actively pursuing to be a green thumb, so he's a little bit further along in that process than I am. I learned from him. Um, but gardening can be very therapeutic. And the process of speaking with the plants and asking them to lend energy, not just clipping off, what the plant has to offer, but actually, communing with those plants can be very rewarding, especially for the more mental and emotional type of healing work that you need to do. That can be really helpful. Yeah, so don't underestimate plant magic or gardening. And when I say gardening and plant magic, please don't think I mean you need to have big old backyard or you have to have a backyard or even a patio, because I realize not everybody has that. Or if you do, it may not be accessible for you in a way where it makes sense. Indoor plants. I was a kid who grew up in a house where it looked like a jungle. My mom was crazy plant lady. Out of our big, we lived in like a small place, but it was like a living room and a kitchen. That was the downstairs. That was it. In a place I grew up in most of my childhood. The front window was basically just plants. You could peek through and look to see outside, but those plants, she had, the tension rods, several of those, and various plants hanging. She had multi-tiered tables, shelves, and all that was in front of the window. Like it was just crazy. And it kind of came out, so it would come out about as far as maybe further than my couch would from the window. That's how many plants I grew up around. And my mom was very serious. She was an avid gardener, serious about her plant life. So I know for a fact, we lived in Jersey. Shout out to Camden. That's where I grew up. So it wasn't, where I lived probably. Although when I was a little kid, some of the older women had gardens. Um, they actually had gardens in their little patch of land. They planted food and stuff like that. Let me tell you, women are something else, aren't we? We will find a space and what's concrete all around you, and we will just make life. Like I love that about us. But anyway, it can be a seriously rewarding experience. I like sometimes to go out in our back patio. I live in a desert and there is no grass, so we're making it really pop out there with these plants and these herbs and fruits and vegetables. So um, it is nice, and it's nice to kind of sit up there and just you can feel the energy. If you just relax a little bit, you can feel it. Preferably early in the morning here because it's starting to get a little warmer now. But yeah, those are the things, spells, rituals to do as far as for healing. Um, Let me know in the comments if you have some other ideas other people could maybe benefit. But I found that these things can be very helpful and and you could maybe do them all. If you, especially if like, things are really getting to you, it's really going on. Let's say you're getting hit with the physical, mental, and emotional at once. If you've got a little time, do everything. It's yourself you're working on, so why not invest that time, right? This is obviously something you're going to plan, but have a herbal tea as your potion. You already have your poppet, your candle spell. um, you create an oil, use your charged candles, and maybe do a little plant spell as well. And as that plant grows, it just represents your health um, growing and escalating as opposed to the decline of it. So just, some helpful ideas there. And here are just a couple final thoughts on all this. Since I said you can maybe do them all, this might not be a one and done. The way I approach, okay, just right now I'm talking about healing, but magic in general, I think sometimes people think it's a one and done. You do a spell and it's done. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Don't get me wrong. And you've got to learn to trust your intuition, because otherwise, um, you, I know most of us witches will, more, I don't want to say advanced witches, but yeah, people who've been practicing for a while say, do the spell and then leave it alone, let it work. We have to say that to people, especially people who are just trying out, because they'll just keep tweaking and wondering about it and doing stuff. No, 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 no. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. That's different. When I say revisit, or it's not a one and done, it's more, to me, I call it alignment. This is part of manifesting work for me, kind of staying in alignment. So if I've done, let's say I did all the things that I mentioned, right, as part of a healing spell ritual. Um, so, okay, now let's make it work. All right, well, I'm going to make sure I'm eating right. I'm going to make sure that now, and so when I say eating right, so I'm going to try to make better food choices. Every cup of tea that I have, herbal tea, because I want to keep infusing that because it's medicinal. I want to say the same blessing over it. So it's not that I didn't believe the first cup didn't work, the first potion. It's just that it's a continuation, and I'm just feeding my body more of these nutrients. Um, because my body consumed it, and it did what it needed to do, kept what it needed to keep, but it will need more. So that's kind of how I approach it, especially with healing type of work. You may need to go back in, go back into the magic. I mean, go back into this state, a meditative state. Meditate again tomorrow, help with your emotional issues and your mental issues, that sort of stuff. So it's just my thoughts. Um, Remember again, try to approach healing holistically. So in my case, stomach issues, right? So I never just think of it as a physical issue. I'm describing it that way so you know what I'm talking about, but I know that there's so much tied to that. If I've been in an argument, if I'm upset about something, I might not eat right away, or I eat the wrong thing, and that's going to cause stomach problems. It's that sort of stuff. So, um, how I feel, how I think, will affect my physical. What I do physically will affect how I feel and how I think. How I think affect you get it. So it's a mind, body, spirit type thing. So I try to keep that in mind as best as I can. Sometimes it goes out the window when I know I had one more something I shouldn't have had, or I spent way too much time, looking at something really negative on social media and really going through it. That's not good for my mental. Or, you look at other people and the Green Night Monster comes out and you kind of stare and you let your mind kind of run a little bit. Um, that's not healthy. But, at least I'm aware. And at some point, I catch myself and I pull myself back. Not too far into the process, but I do catch myself. But, that's what I mean about mind, body, soul. It's the practical things too that you have to be careful of. Um, Especially after you've done a healing ritual spell. You have to be very careful of, how you're conducting yourself afterwards. Are you like the next celebrity gossip thing? Are you like really diving in and you're going back and forth about it and, you're just eating it up and it's really negative and not good, but you're, really into it? Be careful. Nobody wants to believe that or say that, but I'm telling you, be careful. It's not good and it's anti the work that you just did, so be careful with all the positivity. So just watch that. I'm not saying you can't, sharing a little juicy gossip sometimes. I'm saying, just, if you receive the information, don't be judgmental. Don't partake into what everybody else is doing, that sort of stuff. All right, into the preachy stuff. All right, but hopefully this is helpful. Let me know in the comments if this is helpful to you as well. If you have some other approaches to healing, rituals, or spells that have been working for you or have worked for you, or you've maybe even done for others. I've never done anything specific for anyone else. I've put good vibrations, energy, out into the universe for their healing, but I haven't done anything else. But that is something I would like to work on. Um, I don't really know how I would approach that. I guess I could look at, what is it, Reiki? Maybe learning a little bit more about that. That's something I would like to do. Um, I'll see. I'll look into it a little bit more. That's the thing about doing healing work. It's like, well, if you can't heal yourself, can you heal others? But it's like I mean, I'm still human. So tangent alert. So I'm still human. So if I healed whatever one issue was, it doesn't mean I won't have another issue. And I try not to get too caught up in that. Some people think in extremes, like, so I didn't become like a superhuman, immortal person because, I learned Reiki or I'm healing people. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going too far down, or maybe that's something I secretly think in the back of my head. I don't know. Either way, let me know in the comments what you think about all this. I'd love to hear it. And thanks again for watching. I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken. Please like, subscribe, share. And as always, thanks again for watching. If you've already subscribed, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye.